way I got my gamer tag was my brother, his name is Ryan, and he would choose his name to be like R-Bot, which is similar to like robot. And I was 3 years younger than him and also very young at the time. I was like, my brother is so cool. I want to be like my brother. So then I took it and my name's Jason, so I slapped a J on the front and took J-Bot. What about you, Tool?
Yeah, so how I got my gamer tag is from my brother actually. And he actually used to be called the original Tool. I got my Steam account from him and he used to be the original Tool. That's what everyone knew me as. And I pretty much just adopted his name and yeah, I changed it to Tool.
I did not get my gamer tag from my brother because I don't have one. But I got my gamer tag from a close friend that I played with in person. We got into Rocket League together, and his name's Dante. Dante, like the Overwatch guy. But we were going over names because my OG name was like Scrub, and I'm like, Scrub is just a stupid name. I don't want it. And then so he suggested Bambi, and I'm like, maybe. And then since all like the new Rocket League players had like 2 eyes in their name, I'm like, okay, 2 eyes, Bambi. You know, that kind of meshes well together. So that's how I got Bambi.
The first video game I played was on the GameCube actually, and it was Super Smash Bros. And me and my brother would play that pretty much every day for probably like 3 months. And then later I got into Modern Warfare 3 for a few years. And then for my 13th birthday, my brother bought me Rocket League.
My brother decided that he wanted to try to convince my dad to get us like Black Ops 1 on the Wii. And so we had a Wii and he wanted to get it. And I think like my dad wanted to let us try it and see like how bad it was, and then we would return it if it was too bad. And so like my brother had the option at the start to choose between like campaign and multiplayer. And at the time we didn't really think it was an important decision, so he just picked multiplayer. But like if you pick the campaign, the start of that is like very like pretty vulgar and like sort of cussing and stuff. So I'm pretty sure I would have not gotten into video games or COD at all if we had picked the wrong thing there. So yeah.
I started off with Xbox 360 and I played Modern Warfare 2. And sadly, I chose the campaign. And I was doing well in the campaign, and all of a sudden my parents walk. I'm like 9 years old, by the way. My parents like walk in, like the worst moment, like the only time they like curse in the campaign. They walk in and she heard it and she took away the game for like a while. so yeah, so what happened there. Me and Tool, a little background, me and Tool have been teammates for like 4 years. J-Bot, we've been teammates with him for like a year and a half. So we built like really good chemistry. So going into the search, we honestly thought it was a really good opportunity to like bounce into like the pro scene and like really like get like into that scene where bubble players normally like don't. It's hard to transition from a bubble player to the pro scene in Rocket League. But I definitely thought it was possible, especially with the teams that we saw that were competing in it. I think we could be like all of them, so yeah.
Yeah, and there was actually a lot of people that were saying it was fake because, I mean, who would be giving away a year contract that important for a team, but yeah.
Yeah, I actually didn't know about it, and I really didn't, because like Bambi is a lot more familiar with like the Overwatch scene, so he was like, hey, like this, the group of people that, like the Houston Outlaws is doing this tournament, and I was like, what? And then, I realized more and more what it was about, and, at first it seemed like this is such a crazy idea, but it was really cool. It ended up being, like a lot of content was produced around it, and it ended up being a really, really awesome idea, and yeah, I'm really glad we competed in it.
After winning the search, I'm pretty sure a lot of people saw my like camera, but I live in an apartment with some roommates that I met last year, and I'm now a sophomore in college. But my roommates are like very supportive of me like playing like Rocket League as a pro. And I tell them about like all like the big tournaments I have. So they were all watching the tournament, and it was like game 7, final game of the day, overtime. And they're all watching in like a separate room. And all of a sudden they heard a scream from my room. I started screaming, I'm like yelling like, let's go. And then all of a sudden they start like rushing into my room, and it's like 10 of them. And they start like bombarding me. I mean, that was an incredible moment for me.